Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It is again Friday evening and I thought I would turn this into a bit of a general update as well as the packaging update. It's just easier if I'm sitting in the office and we're all set up. I can do this, do a quick edit tonight, put it up Saturday morning, Bob's your uncle. That was just the Americans who love me saying Bob's your uncle. I'm even wearing a pen and I feel like a newsreader. You always ask me these questions and I always forget to tell you, so I'm going to tell you. My jumper is from Marks & Spencer. Yes, I am quite the fashionista, I think we can agree. My nails is, I think it's called Can't Read Without My Lipstick by OPI. I think it's either Can't Read Without My Lipstick or Can't Speak Without My, I think it's Can't Read Without My Lipstick, OPI. Except this finger one's come off in the middle and I tried to fix it and I haven't got the same colour. So, and frankly I haven't got time to get them done, so you're just going to have to make do. Let's do packaging update and then I'm going to tell you where I am with videos that are coming up, what the offer is this Sunday, the brand overview, which is tied to an offer this week, and then we'll go from there. So, packaging. Thank you for your hundreds, literally. I mean, I don't actually, while I'm here, Ben's off camera. Ben can have a look and see how many comments we've got so far. Have a look, Ben. Packaging video. Hundreds and hundreds of comments. All agreeing, literally all agreeing with me. No, that's not a lie, that's a lie. I think there are a couple of people who said I've never had a problem with the Emma Hardy cleanser and now I know why. Also, just want to give a sort of quieter shout out to those of you who said that I was a little too passionate, loud, borderline aggressive, and that I stressed you out and gave you anxiety. Sorry about that. I can't really change how I project when I'm ranting, basically. So in future maybe I'll just put "it's a rant" in small letters so that you know. Every brand I featured I've spoken to this week. Shout out to those who were particularly great and reached out to me immediately. L'Occitane emailed and said, "Thank you so much for your feedback. We are thrilled that you love the juice," which made me laugh. I mean, you know, which I do love the juice. They sent me 2 variants which come in tubs, which I will show you, and they said they have sent the video to their international team because it's not the first time they have heard that complaint. And I think that is the reason I wanted to make the video. It wasn't to diss the industry, it wasn't to diss brands, but I know when you're a blogger and you, in the early days, you're, well, we all certainly were, you were a bit cautious about having too strong an opinion because you didn't want to piss anyone off. Then you get to the point where actually your opinion counts for something. And I remember clearly the few times that people came up to me and they said, "I thought it was just me." Whatever it was, whatever I was saying, you know, whether this product was great or I didn't really get on with that and I don't understand the hype, whatever it was. And I sort of, that stayed with me, that it's important to not be afraid to not have a go randomly, not to slag anything off, but to be critical and go, "This is amazing, but it would work so much better for me as your consumer if you did this to it." So that's where that video, the idea for that video came from. It wasn't about, because here's the thing, when you do a YouTube video that's borderline, has a negative slant to it, you get more views, and that's why they're all over YouTube. I refuse to do it. It would be easy for me to sit here and just slag off loads of different things. There would be no value in that for me, certainly no value for you. Well, some of you might enjoy that kind of thing, but there are plenty of people who do that for you. You can go and watch them. So I really appreciate that the brands came to me and said the video was hysterical, which a few of them did. I was like, sorry. We've taken your feedback on board. One wasn't very happy, but I've spoken to them and we've smoothed it out, more of which. But let's do L'Occitane because I started there. They have sent me these 2 and they're easier for me to use, so I will probably move to these until they decide what to do with the pump. By the way, if you have the pump, which I've left at home because I'm still using it, told you I love the juice. If you have the pump, a commenter put below on the previous video, "Caroline, maybe your bedroom's too cold, keep it in your bathroom near the radiator and it's softer and it comes out easier." So I am doing that. Thank you very much, team. So this is the other L'Occitane option. Are they too shiny? Shall I do it this way? Hang on, I really should wear my glasses. Look at the nail polish, the shame. So there's this one, which is ultra rich cream, and this one is ultra light. They're in a pot, and it's a nice big fat pot. They're still, look, still chunky, still gorgeous, still smell, they feel like mousse. Smell amazing. Thank you, L'Occitane. I'm going to take them home. I'm going to use them up to the last drop is gone. Bobbi Brown we covered. Bobbi Brown told me, Hannah told me when she was here, that this has already been addressed and that is being changed, I think it was next year, but soon. So that will soon come, I think, in a pump. Bobbi Brown. Tata Harper. Tata Harper jumped straight into the comments on Instagram and said, Caroline, you've got the old packaging. We knew there was a problem with the pumps. We fixed it. So this is the old one to give you a reminder. Looks like that. This is the new one. So this is clarifying cleanser. Actually, this is also a new cleanser, which I didn't even know they had. So win-win for me that week, wasn't it? I'm going to take this home tonight. Looks like that. I'm so distracted by my dodgy nail polish. Sorry, people. This is the new lid. So there's a pull-off bit for your pump. Actually, let me... Oh, it's quite firm. Oh, I see, you break it. I literally, watch. Sexy time. That then comes off and there's your pump. Now if you want to, this then, hang on, let me get rid of that, goes back on. So when you travel, so don't throw those out because you need them when you travel. It stops them being pushed. So well done, Tata Harper, and thank you for reaching out, and thank you for the bottle of cleanser. Not why I did it, but Emma Hardy. Emma Hardy weren't happy at first. They were disappointed. That was the word that was used. So I called them and we had a frank conversation. And essentially their disappointment stemmed from, they changed their packaging in January of this year. That's why a couple of you who may have bought the product this year did not have the same issue as the rest of us with the packaging. However, I then said, oh, that's amazing. When did you communicate that to your customers? And they said, well, it's been used in different promotions and there was an email. And it was kind of cagey as to if they actually sent out an email, which I don't think they did, saying, hi everyone, we know that our original packaging had issues, so we've listened to you and we've changed it. Now, if they did that, I've yet to see or hear from you guys that that happened. But they did. They changed their packaging. So as a recap, this is the one that I showed. Now here's Sod's Law, poor Emma Hardy. They changed all the packaging on the cleansers, with the exception there was a few left of this to run through the system. This is the 3 set that was from Marks and Spencer's that is not available now. And that is by Sod's Law, the one that Ben brought me to test. So yes, I know it sounds confusing, but this was still in the market earlier this year. They should all be gone now. The new packaging has been in place since the beginning of this year. However, judging by the amount of comments below, there are clearly hundreds of you that were unaware of it, were as unaware of it as I was. So I don't actually feel too bad. I think I've done them a big favor, because now I can show you the new packaging. They're going to get a nice plug and you can see, and then they've also sent me what's coming. So this is the new packaging. The difference is this is much more metallic, and then underneath you still have the lip like that. Oh, beautiful Nirvana. Right, they're also introducing, these are coming through in the next batch of product. In future, when you open this, there will now be one of these on top. So you know those things that you peel off like you do in milk? It will look like that. So you'll peel that off and then underneath there will be that. So that will help keep everything in place while it's in transit, and then it's still going to be in a jar, and you kind of have to put a balm in a jar in that way. If you think about Kate Somerville goat milk, that tubes don't really work because the viscosity can change and it's just the variables are too much, whereas in a jar at least you can scoop it out. Now it's up to you whether you find it's worth traveling with if you're still worried about spillage and oil over the top. I would. I don't this should fix it, and this also clearly explains why there were a couple of you in the comments saying, oh, I bought an Emma Hardy cleanser this year, I didn't have that problem. Excellent, all good news. I love you, Emma Hardy. I hope you still love me. Don't know what else to say, sorry, but all good. I completely forgot. Lauder, Advanced Night Repair. Estee Lauder, I spoke to Estee Lauder, they're totally cool. They appreciated the feedback. I had already given them my feedback at launch, so it was not a surprise to Estee Lauder. obviously a few of us got it first and played with it, and I just said, guys, this applicator is, you need to look at it. But they are, give them their due, they're in the middle of one of their biggest launches. It's a massive launch for them. So, and corporate machines take much longer to feed things through, whereas Emma Hardy sort of, I mean, it took Emma Hardy a couple of years to sort this out, and they're a smaller independent. So if anything changes with Advanced Night Repair, it's going to take time, but they were very sweet, all good in the hood, and said it wasn't the first time they'd heard it. What more can you say? Just want to address this as well. There were a few comments about my cleanser, which is totally cool. Nothing is perfect. I called Pixie because I know what's happening behind the scenes, but I also need their permission to talk about things that are coming and what's happening. The comment mainly seemed to be that when you travel, this creamy side, you're not gonna be able to see because it's so white, sorry, but here's the creamy side. This creamy side can jump over into the balm side, and you weren't happy with that. It has happened to me, but to be honest, it doesn't bother me because it's all going on the same face. And obviously it's my cleanser. I will totally put my hands up and say, yes, it's my cleanser, of course. Here's what I can tell you. We have listened to your feedback, and we had done almost from the very beginning, and there will be things happening next year. And I promise you, I'm not being one of those YouTube dicks who says things like that and then says, and that's all I can tell you, but that is literally all I can tell you. So if you love the cleanser, thank you very much, and we're always open to feedback. Watch this space, I suppose, is the best way of saying it. The other one was Hydrating Milky Serum by Pixie. Just to show there's no favoritism. Look at this. My mother will be very disappointed in my actions. Should do that. There we go. By the way, again, I didn't plan this, but I was at a photo shoot this morning for Girl vs. Cancer, which is why I'm wearing kind of, and it's a red lippy thing too, and it's why I'm wearing another ton of makeup. So my videos literally seem to swing between me wearing no makeup and a wet bun and a load of makeup and John Bon Jovi hair, because it's also a rainy Friday. And dodgy nail polish, whatever. Pixie Hydrating Milky Serum. I called Petra, I spoke to her and said, there are some complaints about the viscosity. Viscosity, for those of you who aren't in the industry, and I'm not mansplaining anything, it's just if I use words like that and I don't say what it means, it just means I have to answer comments afterwards. Basically how thin the product is as opposed to how thick. They have changed the viscosity of this to make it more runny, to make it come out of the dropper easier. So if you did love that serum but you found it problematic because it was too thick to come out with a pipette, you should be good to go. Get yourself in store, play with it, make sure it's a new batch, and you'll be solid. Although they should have really run through now, because I have a feeling that they also listened to immediate feedback, of which I was the same one. I said the same thing, and I think they fixed it. That's that. So, updates on what is coming up. This week's brand overview on Sunday is from Votary. There is an offer attached to that video. There won't always be, by the way, but I just thought, while it's pre-Christmas, isn't it nice that I can try and say to the brands, hey guys, I'm gonna do a brand overview. Is there anything you'd like to offer my lovely viewers? Or readers, depending on where you're watching me, if you're on the blog. So Votary has said yes. So there is a lovely Votary video coming on Sunday. I am going to film a video with Trini to go through her range. I spent an hour and a half, 2 hours with Brandon from Deciem / Neod / The Ordinary this week, because I wanted to hear from him all of the questions that you have asked me over the last few months since I filmed that original Ordinary video, but mainly about his retinols, because they are the thing I am asked about the most. The Ordinary, retinol, Brandon, Deciem, Neod. Literally, that's been my life since The Ordinary launched. So I called him and said, dude, can we hang out? And he was like, sure. It's not quite how he speaks, to be fair. So that, I will try and film that next week to get it up at some point next week. But actually, my YouTube schedule is pretty tight at the moment. That's what happens when you get a new office. The follow-up to Lisa's final video from that little set will probably be Tuesday. I did a video with Hannah Martin. I filmed with Gillian Dempsey. They're all due in the next couple of weeks. So lots coming up. Thank you to the brands for sort of taking my feedback with such good grace. any comments you've got, leave them for me below. I'll get them as much as I can, but just bear in mind that the more content I churn out, which I am lately, the more comments there are, and there's only me. So where I have the boys helping me, doing a bit of editing and filming and things, there's only one of me that can answer your questions. You know, I can't really get Ben to answer a question about pores, because frankly, he doesn't care. Have a great weekend. I will see you next week.